Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first Work in Progress Wednesday that we've had in quite some time. I'm your host, Modern Synthesis, otherwise known as Mr. Pink, and I am joined by two of my three usual co-hosts. I have Will, otherwise known as TacticalDBag. Good evening, Will.
Hello.
Hello. And Symbio Joe. No, fuck no. God. Okay. Disclaimer: I have a migraine. I left work early. Just said the wrong German. Kajan, definitely not the agent of chaos. The agent of efficient reliability. Kajan. Welcome, Kajan. How are you doing?
Everyone, I'm doing fine.
Good. Thank you for joining up. And we have for Darth Bob fans of Voices on Silent fans, Shane unfortunately is not with us because he just got back from the adventure of a lifetime on his honeymoon. Hopefully he tells us about it next time, but he needs some R&R to recover from his R&R. But in his place, we have someone who, I mean, like, I feel like he comes off pretty humble, so I'm gonna big him up a little bit. Someone who is a legend of the Tyranid community, Mr. Sherman Bishop, of it's Highfleet Harbinger, right?
Correct.
That's your Highfleet Harbinger.
Harbinger.
Harbinger, yeah. And sure, I'm just looking to see. I can't remember if I think I have the White Dwarf here. Hold on. You remember the number, Sherman, of your White Dwarf that your miniatures were in for the Tyranid creature design rules?
Give me just a second. I can grab it. I think it's like 257, but
Oh, that's probably
there's
not.
3 of them that have stuff in them. They're spread out. I'm not sure which is in what.
I've got
And also some
253, 254, and 255. I think. So I have, like, of course, a lot of White Dwarfs because I've, been in the hobby for a minute. But I have a collection of White Dwarves, like, actually on my shelf in the studio, and they tend to be the ones that have, like, cool Tyranid stuff in them. So these magazines would definitely rank. Let's see if I can make this
Sorry,
work.
I had to go over to my bookshelf.
That's fine.
Yeah, 257 has some stuff in it. 256, and the one that has most of it in it is 254.
Okay, because that's the one I have here. I don't have 257, but I do have 254.
Yeah, the other ones were more like the planetary assimilation analysis and the
the stuff you wrote.
yeah, and
Right,
the
because you
one
wrote
with
articles
the
as well.
bioweapons analysis.
Oh, right. Okay, I gotta go dig those out of my White Dwarf box. I have a giant box of White Dwarfs in my shed, but I went through those a while ago and I pulled out all the, like, relevant Tyranid ones. And Sherman ranks because, as we're gonna see, in White Dwarf 254, back in, does this have a date on it? No, I don't think so. Way back in the mists of time. Give me a date anywhere. Come on, guys. Oh, March 2001. March 2001.
Yep.
We had a scenery workshop on creating Tyranid scenery, and we had chapter approved, which was this old thing that Games Workshop used to do where they'd give you free rules and, well, free. They give you rules in White Dwarf, and there's rules for designing the vast bioconstructs that accompany a Tyranid horde. So this was a Tyranid version of a vehicle design rule set that they had before. And
those green pages were one of the articles.
Oh, so you wrote those. Oh, okay.
Some of them say scribe S Bishop at the top.
Scribe Sherman Bishop. Oh, I never didn't put 2 and 2 together on that one. I was so I don't know. I was so into, like, your conversions and stuff that anyway, yeah, so these chapter approved rules by Andy Chambers with Pete Haynes. These have all of Sherman's creations in them. Like, these are Sherman's converted giant Tyranids. Like, this is a Trigon from way back when. Yeah, so he was featured in White Dwarf a long time ago with some really cool conversions that were made from primarily second edition stuff, right? This is before the 3rd edition. Oh no, this was around the 3rd edition.
Yeah, metal. It's all metal.
Yeah.
And I missed the bits wagon.
yeah, so anyway, that's the context you need for why Sherman Bishop is on stream. We have a separate stream where we interviewed him about all of this stuff. But tonight he's joining us because he wanted to talk to us kind of about this tyrannoforming tyrannid scenery stuff for a game you're creating, right? Or a version of 40K?
A narrative one-off,
Yeah,
basically, where like a bring in battle
yeah.
sort of thing with a very unique setting.
Cool. Before we get into that, I should probably do the go around. So, Kajan, how have you been doing lately? Have you been doing any hobby stuff?
I've been sick the past few weeks, so no, I haven't been doing
Oh, I'm sorry.
much. Yeah, but friendly reminder to everybody to get your vaccination shots and stuff like that, because it's ugly.
Are you on the mend now?
Yeah, I'm getting better.
Good. Having been sick in September, I know how annoying that can be. Will, how you been doing?
Distracted of late. I got picked up a video game on the PlayStation, and that's been absorbing most of my time. And had I was kind of I tend to get subscriptions to streaming services like a month at a time,
Smart.
just to like kind of binge. And the missus and I picked up our Netflix subscription to finish off the Wednesday series. So between video games and kind of binging a lot of Netflix shows, I have really not had a lot of hobby time.
Hey man, happens to the best of us. I have some surgery coming up in November that's gonna take me off work for a while, so I'm planning to binge a lot of streaming and play some video games while I recover, because I don't know how able I'll be to sit at a desk and work on models for the first little bit. But I look forward to doing something similar. I just finished, in terms of streaming and binging, I just finished watching season 3 of Foundation, which I'd been catching up on over what felt like months. But that was pretty cool. As for my own hobby stuff, it's mostly been like weird back and finagling of like planning and stuff, because how do I do this? I recently, this past Saturday, God, my words are failing me. Me and Curtis over at Ramshackle Games released a what? We released some unique sculpts, alien scenery stuff. Sorry, I'm just having trouble pulling up my window. But if you're interested in buying some cool Tyrannid scenery, these are original sculpts that I've made that are available for the first time on Curtis's website. And I can't add them to this window because... Yeah, it's pretty exciting, because like I thought about doing this with Curtis for a while. I sent the... Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay, we got it. I sent the miniatures over to Curtis, what was it, a couple of months ago? Or something like that. And he got to casting them up. And then we sent them over to Grim and Gribbly, who got to painting them up, which is pretty cool. So here's an idea of scale. So they're not huge. They're, I would say maybe like, this one's like warrior sized, maybe slightly larger. So that's a chimney kind of sculpt. And there's all kinds of different pictures of it here, so you can take a look at how it comes. And then the actual casts, because Curtis always puts sprue gates, like cool sprue gates on everything, he used another one of my barricades to make the sprue gate on all of these. So if you pick up one of these, you can get a free barricade with it. So yeah, you can find all this stuff over on Ramshackle Games. There's a link that just says Modern Synthesist. And check him out if you're interested. But I feel like coordinating with Curtis, like planning like social posts and stuff like that for the launch of these. We've also sent some out to kindly people around the community so they can have a crack at painting them up. I may have already sent some sets to Symbio Joe and to Sherman, and as soon as Will confirms his best address, I'll send some out for him as well, because just as a thank you for you guys.
That's what that was for.
Yeah, just as a thank you for you guys like helping out with the stream. Thought you might want to play with some of these, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, we'll have them coming your way. Oh, sorry, I guess it was supposed to be a surprise, Sherman, but surprise.
Hey.
Hey.
The Symbiote Joe you just mentioned was me.
No, I didn't do it again, did I?
Yes, I don't know if you did.
Oh, Kajan. Well,
God, Nick, I didn't realize you're such a Germanist.
I am a Germanist. Holy crap. One German's as good as the next. Spoiler alert, both you and Symbio Joe are getting them. So yes, Kajan, you will be receiving some. And they will be addressed to Kajan. They will not be addressed to Symbio Joe. God damn it. I have a migraine. I said that, right? I have a migraine.
Yeah.
I'm working through a migraine. Yeah. So if you want another way to support the channel, support my work, buy these over on Curtis's. He takes part and I take part, and yeah, and also supports Curtis's business, which is great for casting stuff for random people from the hobby community. So I would highly recommend getting some cool stuff, and I would love to see what people do with this. Curtis is sending me some sets because I don't even have sets of my own. I'm gonna try and work some into conversions for like Nidvember or something and see how that goes. See how useful they are. And the key thing is that if these do well, he has more of my miniatures that I have sculpted, and he'll cast those up if these are popular. There's your motivation. I don't think we've sold very many yet, so if you're feeling interested, go for it. All right. So with that out of the way, that's mostly what I've been doing. Other than that, I feel like have I been working on miniatures? I finished the Norn Emissary thing, but I feel like I posted this on my Instagram, but I feel like I've kind of been like circling finished on this thing for a while now. So it's I've shown it to people a bunch of times. This is my version of what I think a Norn Emissary should look like. Was that Kajan?
I just wanted to say you still have the.
Oh, I just dropped it.
Went up.
Yes, thank you. I just pulled it off. So yeah, this is my version of what an Norn Emissary should look like. I started this for myself, and then someone was like, "Hey, can you make me one of those?" I'm like, "Well, why don't I just sell you this one, and then I can make my own later if I want to." Because my main focus when I do things like this is to get an idea out of my head, and I just wanted to like use this as a proof of concept to show how you could convert mostly just the Norn Emissary model with some donor legs from Tranifex, because Tranifexes are awesome for their legs, and a mouth from a Tranifex, and then a tongue, which is a venom cannon feeder tube, which everyone's got, and a little tiny Norn Emissary mouth on the end. And all the rest of this comes from the kit. Pretty happy to be done that. And I think that's what I accomplished. Sherman, what have you been up to recently in your hobby life?
Painting lots of Tyranid stuff. I've been using a lot of third-party materials for trying to make an entire board of infested Death World. That's the main plan right now.
Yeah. Shall I pull up those photos now and we can start talking about it?
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to introduce a scenario where it's a very hostile planet. There's a lot of special rules for how people move and how long your weapons can shoot because of the atmosphere and stuff. And we're going to put all this Tyranid terrain basically covers about half the table and encroaching into the other half. And then the natural Death World flora and fauna will be in the other part. And the attackers are going to come down where they've blasted a landing zone, and they're going to try to fight over to the other edge of the board and destroy a specific Tyranid structure that's causing psychic interference all around the system.
Nice.
And I wanted to make destructible terrain rules and interactive terrain rules where, like if they move too close to something, it could do something, or it has an effect that's always in effect around it.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I'm trying to figure out good ways to do that.
Okay. So this is when we talked about this, you described it as a brainstorming. So we would love to have folks in the chat chime in as well on these ideas. And of course, Will and Kajan, we definitely want your input on all this. But yeah, it's kind of like an open session for anyone who's in our Discord server. All of these photos have been posted in the stream. What's it called? Stream thoughts, something or other.
Like that.
I don't have it up. Where the heck?
Hang on, let me go back.
Stream reviews and thoughts. Okay, so if you're in the general section of our Discord server, you can see these photos yourself. Sherman's posted them there, and if he posts any more, you can find them there. But I'll also be showing them on screen here. So I'm gonna do a thing. Do this. We don't do this normally, but
Before we start on mine, do you have rules for the things that you made?
I am.
I mean, I know what the barricades are for. Those are kill team variants for the Tyranids, but then your spore chimneys and your spines and stuff. Are there any rules that you were thinking about for those?
I'm the worst person to ask this because I am not a home brew rules person. That when I convert stuff, my go-to is like, I'll just take what I created and I'll find something that Games Workshop always has. If I wanted to play for it with it, I would take something Games Workshop already has rules for, and I would just kind of like square peg it into a round hole, where I'd just be like, hey, this like giant Norn emissary, it's just a Norn emissary. Like, it might look weird and it might have strange weapons, but for the ease of playing a game, let's just treat it as like a normal one. But when it comes to terrain, the barricades that I made were inspired by Kill Team. In Kill Team, you can your gang, well, at least this was last edition of Kill Team. I'm not as familiar with this edition of Kill Team, but I think I saw them in the Ravner rule. Your team can take 2 barricades and place them on the board at the beginning of the game, and I think you can like buy an additional barricade, or like it used to be that you had like a third resource that you could get, and you could either choose to have a third barricade or you could choose some other resources. So the Kill Team boxes are supplied with these little they're shaped little barricades that are shaped like the ones that I sculpted. I don't have a picture here. I based them on a oh, I do have a picture. Let's go. Moments. Okay. Just so here we go. Switch this for a sec. So these are the barricades that I sculpted, and that the casts that Curtis made are based on. And to create them, I took if you look at the top of this image that I'm sharing on the stream, that's the shape of a Kill Team barricade, like kind of squared off. And then I traced one of the Kill Team barricades onto plasticard, and then I kind of cut down the plasticard to make it more scalloped and Tyranid shaped. And then from that, I just added like Chinton plates to it, because these were for my Tyranid Kill Team initially, but I sculpted them as like whatever random xenomorph terrain. So I guess my long answer to your question for the rules for these is that they are meant to represent rules that exist in Kill Team. But the other stuff I haven't really given thought to rules for. So maybe I should hand this over to Will or Kajan, because you guys may have a better idea than I do about homebrewing rules or coming up with rules for your unique creations. How do you guys handle it?
Hey Sherman, have you ever played Infinity?
I have not.
If you check through their rules, and the nice thing about Corvus Belly is that their rules are free, so you can kind of check it. They have like these sort of sort of area of effect rules sometimes, where like especially if like the atmosphere is like really bad or something, lore wise, like it affects the if you're shooting like within it or through it, uh, it affects like how many dice you get to roll, or like yeah, basically it affects, essentially says like the fog is too thick or whatever, so like the bullets aren't flying like as nicely or anything like that. So, um, that might be a good springboard to like get some inspiration on some of on their ideas of how to deal with um, area of effects around terrain pieces, right? Like you said, like if there's like a spore cloud or something like that. Something where if your line of fire is through there, or either the attacking model or the target model is within some range, uh, yeah, just some area of effect things, even or even if you want something that's like a dangerous form of plant that might grab at something, kind of like some of those rules that if you end your movement within a certain distance of another model, some effect takes place. That could be, I guess, like ways to implement some rules to like kind of make these terrain pieces a little bit more threats. Even like almost kind of like a spore mine, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
you don't want to end near it.
What do you think of that idea, Sherman?
Well, that's kind of what I'm looking for is stuff like that, but it has to fall within the normal rules of 40K, so there's not like a way to lose dice and stuff like that. But because of the way I was envisioning this world, it was going to be essentially like you were fighting underwater. The atmosphere is so thick, so
Yeah.
energy weapons wouldn't go as far, bullets wouldn't go as far, but the gravity is really heavy. So like your melee weapons are going to weigh twice as much, and it's going to so basically it's a problem for everybody.
Mhm.
It affects both sides, the Tyranids and the attackers. And what I was trying to do was make it somewhat unique. Like say the picture that you have up right now,
Yeah.
those had rules, I think, for that death world, but I can't find them. So
Oh, the original. Sorry, I
yeah, the
switched up
original
the
rules.
those the like plants. These Death World plants.
And I have a whole bunch of these. I have a whole set of all the different kinds. And what I was trying to do was like, say, the spore chimneys. You have like small ones, medium, and then you have really big ones.
Yeah.
Um, I was thinking of just having them have a larger area effect around them as stationary venom thropes. Like the spore cloud that they put out.
Oh, so you want to
Because
like
there's already a rule for it.
yeah.
You just manipulate it a little bit to make it fit for that. So like if there's just one there, it's maybe 3 inches around it. If it's a great big huge one, it might be 6 inches around it.
So what I'm getting here is that for ease of use and balance and stuff like that, it sounds like what you'd prefer to do is find something within the Tyranid Codex or within Warhammer 40K that can sub in. That's a really good way of describing how you want to like handle it with the
Right, mimic
this
it
thing is going
somehow.
to be
Just
a
use a
stationary
rule that
venom throw.
exists. Yeah, stationary venom thrope. Like for one of my hive fleet ships that I've made, uh, which is going to be one of the things that's on the planet there, and it's just going to act like a double Turvagon and keep releasing more troops until if you kill it halfway, then it only counts as one Turvagon,
Did
and
you
then you
put
kill
that
it the rest of the
picture in
way.
here yet? Or
No, that was the hive ship. I wasn't really going for that. I already kind of figured out how I wanted to do those.
oh, okay.
But but like spawning beds and digestion pools and stuff like that. I mean, they talk about them a lot, but they don't have any real rules for how if they do anything in the game.
Okay.
Like, do
So
you every
spawning.
round you roll a d6, and if it gets a 6, maybe it spawns some stuff, or how does it react if you start shooting it to destroy it? Is it going to try to birth things faster to defend itself, or is it just going to up the threat level coming in from the Tyranids?
Okay, well, let's see if the chat over on YouTube has any suggestions for that specifically, because they may have some good ideas. As you talked about like stationary Venomthropes, I was
would have
wondering about stationary Tervagons for a spawning pool. But
That makes sense,
I
but
don't
you might
remember.
have to reduce them based on what size those are,
I
because
would have a
there's the little bitty ones, and then they go up to the
Kajan?
great big ones.
Yeah, Kajan, what was that?
I would have a suggestion for that. You could have these spawning pools spawn rippers, and when those rippers aren't killed, you could say that in the round, every point lost, if a unit was lost, the points are recovered, and in the following round, you have to keep the ripper alive, and if the ripper is alive, everything in that turn that dies goes into your point pool, and you can't spawn a new Tyranid model from the spawning pool.
So a variation on like the endless hordes
Yeah.
rule,
Yeah.
where it replenishes as the rounds go on.
Yeah, and you need to keep the rippers alive. That basically, it would be suggesting that the rippers are eating the fallen Tyranids that died, and bring them back. So as long the representative of the rippers are on the field, you can have the endless rule, which is already in the game.
Right. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for. That works well for that. Uh, and initially, how I was planning on setting this up is there were just like some gargoyles, some gaunts, some horns maybe wandering around, various things, but not a lot of stuff active because they're not having to defend this area. There's nothing attacking them at the moment. But as soon as the attackers begin to encroach on the Tyranid area, then the hive starts to react and defend itself and bring up more and more defenses. Depending on how much they destroy, determines how strong the response is from the hive.
Yeah. Well,
If that makes sense.
that could be represented by you have to have such and such. Just say you have like a dice roll of a 6 for the hive, and for everything they destroy, you add X dice to the roll. Or it's a 5 or 6, the Tyranids respond, like depending on how you could like play test it. But I was just thinking that if like it's a 6, it's like, oh well, I'm not going to roll a 6. It's cool, I can like blow some stuff up. But every time you blow something up, they have to roll 2 like they blow up one thing, they roll 2 dice. They blow up 2 things, they roll 3 dice, like that kind of thing, to like have increasing chances that there's going to be a response. Or you could add like modifiers to a like a d20 roll or something if you want to get more like granular. Because like
Now that's very interesting. Like if you generated a threat level based on how much they destroy, like say a termagant counts 1, but
yeah,
a spawning pool counts 5, and you just keep counting that up, and you roll a die that's the closest to that, and
yeah,
depending on what the result is, like you could have Carnifex brood come bursting out or
yeah.
something.
This is actually kind of giving me an idea. You know the vehicle degradation rules and monster degradation rules, right? Where certain
Correct.
stats kind of will go down as, based on
Lose
a couple of
wounds.
thresholds.
Yeah,
Yeah. What if it's kind of like that, but sort of inverse, right? So essentially, you really want to discourage somebody from attacking them, right? Or if they attack it a lot but don't fail to kill it, like then they're kind of hosed, right? So like you set these thresholds based on like how many wounds are left, but it's sort of an inverse kind of style of the degradation rules. Right?
Where they get
So that's like,
stronger as they lose wounds.
Where it builds threat. It builds
Yeah.
more. It makes the hive fleet more desperate to defend itself because it's taking
Yes.
much damage.
Essentially, yeah. So like you're still taking that kind of same conceit concept of, you know, these sort of like threshold wound levels where like, you know, some statistic is changed, but you know, we kind of invert that idea a little bit.
I like that. That's a really good idea, Will. You think that would work, Sherman?
That's definitely that's in the vein of what I was hoping to do, because if the players try to avoid the Tyrannid stuff and just get close without having, just not blowing everything up as they come in,
Mhm.
uh, I'm expecting that if they do it that way, then it would be easier for them to reach the final structure and start destroying it, instead of having to deal with all the outer defenses. And then if they do start destroying the outer defenses, then it's going to be much more heavily defended when they get deeper, because stuff's going to start spawning out.
Mhm.
So that would work really well. It just have to assign point values or some sort of a rule for what they've destroyed. Like how many wounds have they inflicted would probably be the easiest way to do it. How many Tyrannid wounds have been sustained?
Yeah.
And you just keep a running total of that. And the higher it gets, the more strong or intense the response is. Now that was this thing that you're showing right now. Oop, you moved it.
I keep moving. Okay, so why don't we go through the pictures and you tell us better. So first we have the plants that came from the Death World terrain. So those were the ones you said where you were kind of looking for to find the rules that came out with the Death World terrain for them.
Right. I
What?
don't even know what those plants are called, so it's kind of hard to find
Oh, really?
find the rules because I don't remember the names.
Does anyone in the chat remember what these Death World spiky plants are called? They look kind of like, I don't know, wide
Lilies,
open
weird open lilies or
lilies or
something.
deconstructed Venus flytraps with just like a bunch of blades. If anyone remembers in the chat, let us know.
I forget who's our resident.
Reg Dan Cap is talking about the 3rd edition rules for making monsters that you
Yes.
were talking about earlier. I've got that.
Oh, but there was
I've got
two
that book out
versions. There was
so
the
that we.
Tyrannid one, and then there was the separate one for just like random monsters.
Yeah, the random monster one was cool too. I really liked that.
I think Dan is referring to the random monster one.
Who's our resident Discord, Instagram, Tyrannid David Attenborough again? Bargeist?
Oh, no, not Bargeist. It's no, it is Bargeist. What the heck am I saying? It's Bargeist.
Maybe he might remember the name.
Oh, right. Bargeist is not here, but I can ping him on the old Discord. Oh, Bargeist will remember the name.
Also, like hella past his bedtime at this hour.
Yeah, but sometimes he shows up.
That's true.
Well, it's hella past Kajan's bedtime. It's even more past Kajan's bedtime than Bargeist's bedtime because Kajan's in Germany.
Not that like an hour.
Two? Oh, it's one? Okay, whoops. No, it's one. I should know that. Okay, I've asked Bargeist. So might have to wait till tomorrow. His response. Okay, so we have those, and you just want to use the standard rules for those, Sherman? You don't have any other things you wanted to do with these that you wanted to pick people's brain on?
Not on those particular ones, because if they do have rules, we can just try to adapt them to 10th, and they're native stuff on the planet, so they're not having to be related to the Tyranids. So they just have to. So I'm assuming, based on this, that the Tyranids come down, the fauna will probably move away from them. So all these carnivorous plants don't have anything to eat much, because the Tyranids have chased it all away. So they're going to try to get the Tyranids, but that's probably not going to work out too well for them.
Yeah.
But if the Marines start coming in and marching through these fields of very hungry carnivorous plants, there's going to be some reactions. So it's just something where they can either try to burn them down or blow them up before they go in, or they can just try to go through them and take the hazardous test or whatever I come up with for us to use to create that sense of danger to that area,
Uh-huh.
because basically it's a death world, so it's supposed to be really dangerous, and it's very toxic atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. So basically, it's going to only be Marines, dreadnoughts, Terminators, things like that that are going to be down on the planet.
Yeah. Okay.
And because of how dense it is, if they bring vehicles, they're going to have to clear a path because
Yeah.
there's not going to be room for vehicles to move through the terrain features. So that's why I needed to figure out a way to do destructive terrain.
I see.
So they can either maneuver around it, go through it. If they're infantry, they can go through it, or if they bring demolishers or something like that and they just want to pound it into dust and then walk over the rubble, that's also an option I need to make available.
Did you find a solution for the destructible terrain question? Like how you're going to handle it?
Well, I was going to assign everything just a wound amount,
Yeah.
and they can, there'd be certain things that are more effective, like blast weapons are going to clear terrain faster than, say, bolters, and torrents can burn down foliage, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So probably just just something like that, where you say, the blast and torrent and things like that are going to have a higher effect, like maybe double the wounds they inflict
Yeah.
over regular, just trying to shoot it down with a machine gun.
I was just thinking, so pardon me because I haven't played 40K in a while, but thinking back to like how terrain was previously handled. So in my brain I have like this hierarchy of like impassable terrain, like hazardous terrain, and then like difficult terrain, and then like clear or something like that. And maybe it's the case that as they knock down, like if be it wouldn't be like 1 wound, 2 wound, 3 wounds, but be it like 4 wounds or 8 wounds or 12 wounds or something, it drop down that list. So like just say these barricades we're looking at here with the teeth, these are impassable, you can't go through them. But if you pile a bunch of fire into them and you knock it down 4 wounds, instead of being impossible, it's now like hazardous or whatever, where like if you go through it you could get injured. And then if you pile in another 4 wounds or something, it gets knocked down to just like difficult terrain. So you can walk through it, but it's like it's slowing down your movement or whatever, or you have to roll dice to see how far you move through it. So kind of to show, because when I was thinking about your question about destructible terrain, I was thinking like you shoot something, you blow it up, it's not just clear, like there's debris. And so that was how I was trying to handle like the like levels of destruction thing, where they could knock
Now
it
that
from
sounds really good.
impassable down to dangerous, and then dangerous down to difficult or something like that, and then difficult down to clear. But they have to pour a lot of firepower into it to clear. You would have to kind of like what Will was referring to with the degradation of like degradation of vehicles, where you have those like brackets. So you would just have to define the brackets for the terrain and see like what seems like a reasonable number of wounds. Like if they've got blast or torrent, I don't know if you necessarily want them to be able to knock it down from like 12 to 0. But you just have to play with those numbers. But that could be a way to like have it in different stages.
Yeah, because the final structure, I was going to have it very heavily defended,
Yeah.
and that they were you're going to have to punch through the defenses to get in there and destroy it. And so those big toothy things, the only thing I could come up with was that those were just like barricades, just
Yep.
giant barricades, things that like a Norn can hide behind,
Yep.
a Norn emissary or something, because they're really big.
They
So
look
they
big.
would have a lot of durability to them, because if you look at them, they're as big as a Land Raider. So it'd take a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit to chew that down, blow
Yeah.
it up.
Um,
So I
Memory
like
stick.
that. I like that idea. That would work really well.
Kajan, sorry, you were
And
saying?
then like the ones with all the tentacles,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
trying to figure out a way to use hazardous terrain for those, but there's no hazardous terrain rules currently. It doesn't exist in the game anymore. So I was thinking probably if you move within range of it or stop near it, you'd have to roll a die roll to take a chance on taking damage from it
Well,
because
why
they'd be
don't you just
lashing out at you.
treat it as a
For those,
creature that attacks? Kajan? Sorry,
yeah,
Kajan, go ahead.
for those, I would suggest to use the Toxic Green or the Lash Whip rules.
Yep.
Lash Whip is probably better.
Does the Lash Whip
but
still exist, though? Like, didn't they just turn all Tyranid close
no,
combat weapons into close combat weapons?
No, the tyrant still has one
Oh, good.
a rule has a lash whip as an actual weapon.
Good.
the Toxic Green has also a nice miasma rule where everything that moves into the area can take damage at the end of the turn. If I'm
I've never
remembering,
used the Toxicrane because of how hard it is to move on the table. I'll have to look at those rules then. I didn't know that.
yeah, it's the hypertoxic miasma. It's an aura rule. At the end of your movement phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 6 inches of this model on a 2 to 3. That unit suffers 1 mortal wound, 4 to 5 d3 mortal wounds, and on a 6 a d6 mortal wound. That's a nice aura rule, and there's also the venom tropes also have a nice aura rule for cover, which also could be used. That everything that you define that when stuff moves into a dense brush or something like that, it works like the foul spores, where people get benefits of cover against attacks and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, the spore chimneys. That was the basis I was going to try to use for those. Just however big the spore chimneys were, make it adjust the area size for it, because that just makes it cover. It's harder to see them.
And what I wanted to say is earlier, if my memory serves me right, the first thing the hive mind spawns out of a brute pool is after the first couple of rippers and stuff like that. The first thing they spawn is the hive tyrant to protect the brute pool.
Oh, okay.
So at least that's how I remember it. Don't know if it was changed in recent edition. I haven't touched the 10th edition.
I'm telling you, a Tyrannid David Attenborough Barghest would know. See,
yeah, probably.
The reason I forgot that we call Barghest Tyrannid David Attenborough, because he has an exhaustive, incomparable knowledge, Tyrannid lore, and he has such a lovely delivery, is that Barghest is also like an amazing converter. Like the theme for Nidvember, which we touched on last Friday, where it's like a bits box challenge where you want to like troll through your bits box and use non-standard bits to create like a whole creature. Barghest that's just converting and like kit bashing for Barghest. That's just like a Tuesday. Who said it? Someone said, was it Symbio or someone else? They said, so basically a Tuesday for Barghest, because or no, maybe it was Tom, because Barghest just does that naturally. So I had forgotten about the David Attenborough thing because I was thinking of Barghest from his kit bash perspective. So that's why anyway, he would have the knowledge of like this lore about tyrants and whether they're the first ones to come out of the spawning pool. I do not recall. Sherman, what about these structures that I've just pulled up? There's what looks like lotus seed pods, and then a central column structure.
Oh yeah, that the big tower is going to be the primary structure that's hidden behind all these defenses, and there'll be some psychic nodes arrayed around it that they need to take out, because the psychic array is what's causing all the problems that is making this mission so critical. They need to stop it in time so that the Navy has time to come in and bombard the planet.
Yep. Oh, wait. Speaking of Navy bombardment, our resident Gene Stealer cultist, Chad 40K in the chat, it's also definitely past Chad 40K's bedtime right now. Chad suggested, this is maybe a bit of a curveball, Sherman, said, here's an idea. What about an orbital defense laser system that's been taken over by the Gene Stealer cult that prepared the planet? It would do all sort of things depending on what you roll on an effects table. So I don't know how that fits in, but it could be a thing where like the defenders or
Well,
the
that's a
people.
good idea for a scenario, but
Yeah,
this was a death world, so there wasn't any Imperial presence there
yeah.
prior to this being noticed.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if that would be helpful or not. Like it could be like the defenders or the people who are trying to like take out the Tyranids. They're trying to use this laser system, but then they find out that like actually the guys operating the laser system are cultists. And then there's like a random effects thing where like the laser might shoot what you want to shoot, or it might shoot your own guys. I don't know. So it's dangerous to try and use it.
Like the old orbital bombardment rules that the Space Marines had, because
Yeah.
it scatters
Hey,
so far.
hey, you want to get like real intense. You got your guys down on the planet dealing with all the Death World terrain and all the Tyranids. And then somebody who came to your battle has to fight a Space Hulk battle with Gene Stealer cultists on the orbital array off to the side to get the control of this laser, because you need the laser to blow up the central Tyranid structure or something. But I don't know, that might get too complicated.
Yeah, we tried to do something like that back in the 90s, where we had Battlefleet Gothic, and then it would affect the ground forces, what
Oh
could
God, I
get to the
love it.
ground.
Love it.
And it, but it just got so complicated to keep track of everything, and people just kind of went, let's just play a game.
Okay. I love that idea. Like, why don't you
But
get
I
some
had a lot of
epic in
fun
there
because I
too?
was making all those high fleet models just for that game, because my Tyranids were attacking a planet and then they
Yeah.
were defending it.
Oh, Sherman, I gotta send you some pictures, man. I've got do you know who Roberto Cirillo is, the artist who did like the Tyranid concept sketches in the early 2000s?
Yes, I've seen some of his stuff. Yes.
I've got original art of his that was never released, and it's his sketches for hive ships.
Oh, did they use them for the Battlefleet Gothic video game? Are they
They
anything like the ones
I
that are in
don't
that?
think so. They look very different from that. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, I'd love to see those.
Yeah. Okay, so with the central structure here that we're showing is the Tyranid structure that they're going to be attacking, and then those other things, are they the psychic nodes? Are they spawning pools or?
Those are like spawn egg cases type things. I haven't made any spawning pools because I don't like them to be elevated, and I
Yeah.
have to figure out how to build the board and have them recessed into the board,
Well, Sherman, I'm not sure if you've ever
and
seen
also tunnels.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen this white dwarf that you're in, but there's a good solution here for that. In the before the Tyranid design rules, between your article about terraforming and the Tyranid design rules, this is a bit elevated, but I think they did a good enough
Yeah, you have to elevate it a little bit
system
to
here where
just to
they
get some
had
depth.
they had foam like sloping up to the pool, and then the pool's like cut down into the foam, so it looks like you'd put like a piece of masonite hardboard or something down and then build like a hillock out of insulation foam and then just carve out the middle to make your pool. But
Yeah, that looks like a workable solution. I was planning on building the whole board up like at least a half an inch or an inch of foam boards,
oh yeah,
and then that would make me able to put tunnel areas around it for the fumaroles or the volcanic vents and things like that,
cool, okay,
or trigon tunnels. You never know.
that's fun too. um and then we've got a bunch of chimney structures here in what look kind of like xenomorph egg fields. Oh, I guess those are the where things would hatch from.
Yeah, those are the biggest spore chimneys those would be the ones that would have the largest area effect of the spore cloud around them,
Yeah.
and then these are the biggest egg chambers that I have, except for the ones that came in that Tyranid infestation, where they're just one big egg type thing, and I'm making some that are a little bigger than that out of Tervagant or Tervagon stomachs.
Okay.
Turn,
Okay.
you know, put them together, turn them over, and sand them so that they can sit flush, so they look
Smart.
a little bit like those ones on the bottom.
Did you see the one of those that I
So all
made?
of those, yes, I did.
I never.
Those
I
that's
still haven't
that.
finished it, but I was gonna make a video about it.
Well, that's what gave me the idea. I said, "Hey, I've got tons of those because I've got 3 Tervagons or Tyrannifex. So I have all
Yeah.
those. I have 3 bellies laying around that aren't being used.
Yeah.
Turn
These.
them into something."
I feel like a lot of people have these bellies. They're not that appealing unless you're building like massive amounts of Tervagons. But
Well, yours look much better than mine do right now because I've, you know, I don't have the epoxy sculpt or green stuff skills to make it look good. But
we
that
can hook you
looks
up, man.
awesome.
Well, dude, I'm sure you've got skills. You've been smashing Tyranids together forever.
Yeah, I usually just use it as a gap filler.
I gotcha. Okay, so we talked about the vents and the egg. Did you want to ask about any possible applications for the terrain that you got, the Games Workshop vested terrain that you sent a picture of?
Yeah, I was curious if there's rules for that because the box didn't have. That's an official. I bought that, and it doesn't have any rules in it at all for any of that stuff.
Hmm.
But it's for kill team. I'm assuming there must be. They must do something. You would think in the game.
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't buy the Typhon box. If you bought, did you buy the Typhon box or you bought the scenery separate?
No, just the terrain.
Okay, well, if
set.
anyone in the chat knows if there's rules for this stuff in the Typhon box, please let us know. Tom saying what issue of? Oh wow. Oh, Kajan's got it. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
That's
wrote it down.
sorry. That the one we were just looking at. Yes, it's when White Dwarf 254 from March 2021. It's got dwarves on the cover. Looks like this.
If you ever want to read the article in the Citadel Journal where they interviewed me about how to customize your hive fleet, it's issue 37 of the Citadel Journal has a whole bunch of my stuff in there.
37.
Somebody was asking about that.
Oh damn. Good one to get. I have whatever issue the Citadel Journal had the big wooden dominatrix on the back.
You know, I don't think I have that one. I don't remember seeing it in my stack. Do you have any idea what number that is?
It should be right here, but
But a lot of what I was trying to do with this was just take some existing Tyranid model and just turn it into the piece of terrain and say, okay, we have rules for this. This is how it works, except it can't move. It's stationary. It's just there. It's going to do its thing. Because that's easy for people to understand. You say, okay, this counts as a Venom Thrope just for the area effect. Can't attack or anything. It's just doing that. And then you might have another one that's a Neurothrope or something like that. If it's a psychic. Oh yeah, 24. No,
24.
I don't think I have 24.
I bought this on eBay like 2 years ago. So I haven't actually read it.
Wooden?
I just flipped to the back page because it's got this cool stuff on it. Where's the the dominatrix is on the front cover. Whoops.
So he carved those out of wood?
Yeah, apparently he made them out of balsa wood and some other stuff. Matt Meek.
Now I've seen that picture somewhere, so I might
I
actually
posted
have
it.
this.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
also
probably where I saw it
I'm
then.
obsessed with this picture. I didn't have the other picture, the Hierophant one, but shoot me with a bolt pistol, would you, little man? I haven't read anything else in here. I probably should, but you're not familiar with Citadel Journal. Citadel Journal was like when Games Workshop produced like its own zine. Like they had White Dwarf, and And that was for like all this the mainstream stuff, and then they put all the weird stuff in Citadel Journal. An ad. You can own a Thunderhawk in white. Oh my god, it's an ad for the Thunderhawk. The white metal Thunderhawk.
with the wooden box and the numbered.
Wow, this model looks stunning when complete. It is actually an absolute bitch to put together. We cannot stress too firmly that this is a kit for the expert modeler only, and is not suitable for either beginners or anyone under the age of 14. How's a 14-year-old going to put together a metal Thunderhawk? God.
Got a ton of super glue.
All the super glue.
You need power tools and bolts and
much does it
rivets and everything
cost?
else.
They're made to order. Where does it? Why doesn't it
Does
say
it
how
say
much
how
it
much
is?
it cost originally?
I'm missing it. 400. 400 pounds. 400
In what
pounds.
It's like 98 or something.
It's 40,000 pence. That's how they calculated it. 98. February 1998. So what is 400 pounds 1998 currency? That's a lot of money. Oh. Didn't realize that was in there. Anyway, sorry. Distracted. Oh, Sherman, I keep meaning to say, though it's not going to solve you or help you with like the whole like finding current rules for stuff, what about going back to the second edition purple Tyranid Codex, going to the middle where they have those charts for like effects on like models and terrain and stuff like that, and just seeing if you can like pull some ideas from there. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that's an interesting idea. I have to find that old codex
I mean, you don't have
because
it
I've got
sitting in a
no, I've
place of
got it
pride? Come on,
somewhere.
buddy. Diana Orcsees guesses that 400 pounds from 1998 would be the equivalent of about 900 pounds. It would be more.
Well, that would be a bargain now, then, wouldn't it? Compared to
Yep.
what they charge for something.
Oh, and Monty the Maker has joined us. Hello, Monty the Maker. Welcome.
Tom Wilson just said that the issue 254 is different in the UK than the
It's
Oh.
probably off by one number.
Oh, yeah, it is off by
Probably
one number. So I have issue 253 here, and it's got Tyranids on the cover. One sec, Tom. Does it look like this? Infestation. New Tyranids for Warhammer 40k. This is This is issue 253 in North America. I wonder when they harmonized them. Oh my god. Yeah, I
wonder if I have the third edition Kajan Codex. I think I do.
Wait, Kajan? No, I meant Tyranid.
Out too.
What?
No, he's Chad 40k.
Oh, Chad
said third edition Kajan Codex had some ideas, rules for Death World fauna.
Yeah,
so I definitely need to go check that out.
There also was a Death World tournament in 2012. I have the website here. It's on the Dice Abide. The Dice Abide website. They have an article, a review article from April 29th in 2012. And they're talking about the Death World tournament and the accompanying rules for that with hazardous terrain and stuff like that.
And where was this again? I'm sorry.
I posted on the in the stream view channel under your pictures.
Oh, if you go to that same channel where you posted your pictures.
Okay, awesome.
And then Monty the Maker's, I think Monty's saying that the rules for the Tyranid terrain in Kill Team are linked to narrative campaign rules where you fight an infestation. So
that sounds reasonable.
I
Yeah.
think that's probably in whatever campaign book came with Typhon, the book that had the or the box that had the Ravners Admech in it, or whatever they were. Because I think there was something about the Typhon box you could play it solo. Like you could just play yourself fighting the infestation, but I don't know more about that. Yeah. Oh man, Dan, we all have issue 253 in a drawer somewhere. I've got him in my shed. Gotta go find him. Okay, so Diana's saying that with the rate of inflation, a 400-pound Thunderhawk would now cost you 1,200 pounds, but I'm pretty sure that when Squidmar got one and assembled it, he probably paid more than 1,200 pounds for it. But maybe not. 1,200 pounds is a lot of money. Forget. It's not euro, it's not dollars.
He made a lot for charity on that though.
So we've gone over almost all these pictures. My migraine is catching up with me. There's one here, Sherman, that's got some like dragonfly looking things in it and some plant kind of looking things. What did you want to say about this one?
The little dragonflies are supposed to be, I was going to put them in just to be some of the less, I guess, aware native fauna that would still be flying around the area and might get in something's way. The little node things here that look like beehives, those I've used in the past to be teleport nodes, like that are in the hive ships, the big hive ships. So you make an array of those, and the Tyranids can use them to teleport from one to the nearest one.
Cool.
So you can get some extra movement that way, and get your troops where you need them to be in an area where movement is very restricted, like inside of. This comes from the Hive War, the Doom of the Eldar, those type of box sets that they used to have. They had rules for teleport nodes in them, and I kind of stole that.
Cool.
And then all these weird tentacly things over to the left, those are going to be like tentaclids. That are just resting around in the defensing area, and if something flies in, they will react like the tentaclids can from the harpy. Or is it the harpy or is it the other one that has those? Anyway, whichever one of them has those. And then these hive ship things that are, I've seen one of them's kind of started getting painted, and there's 5 of the black ones. Those were going to be stationary psychic attacks. I was going to make them like probably using the zoanthrope rules. It just can't move.
Yeah. I like that.
And those would be 5 turrets that would be like one of the perimeter defense around the big psychic node thing that they're trying to destroy. So they would need to take those out in order to get close.
Okay. I was gonna say that if someone has the audacity to try and destroy one of the teleport nodes, I feel like they should pay a dear cost for it. Like it should be some kind of like intense perils of the warp test or something like that, or they suffer perils of the warp attack. I don't even know if perils of the warp still exists, but just so that they don't roll up, destroy all your teleporters, and then laugh.
That's the only effect that's on the board. The psychic noise affects the attackers detrimentally, but doesn't affect the Tyranids.
Okay.
But the psychic backlash from them destroying nodes or stuff like that could affect the Tyranids. So what I was going to do was make a morale test to be able to use psychic powers. You have to pass a morale test to get through the, fight through the psychic noise. It's a little bit of a disadvantage, but it's not game breaking to where, there's not a lot of people that rely on a lot of psychics in their forces, especially Marines.
Kajan, what were you going to say?
Do we have synaptic shock still as rule in the 10th edition?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Well, I guess, are there even psychic powers anymore? They stripped down 10 to like the studs. I don't know.
They made them weapon profiles.
Well, you could probably take
lots of my stuff lots of the Tyranid stuff has psychic lances and stuff like that, and you just use it in your shooting phase,
Okay.
just like a normal weapon. There's no psychic test to be made or anything like there used to be. Unfortunately, I mourn the loss of the psychic phase. But you all have given me a lot of stuff to go look for. Like,
Good.
I pulled up that site for the dice abide, so I can look at that, and then I got the Kajan page to go look at. Those are just some native 3D print plants that I was going to
Okay.
put down that aren't painted yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we could be of service, because I honestly think that I gotta go. My head is killing me. I'm losing it here.
Well, thanks for sticking it out.
Yeah. Well, thanks for bringing this interesting topic for us to discuss, and thanks Kajan and to Will for helping us figure it out, and to the chat for all of your support as well.
Yeah, Sherman, keep us up to date. Sounds like fun.
This will probably be taking place in mid-November.
Oh, good.
Probably close, with all the stuff that I'm planning on painting and doing, it'll probably be closer to the end of the month.
Yeah.
But I'm going to run it at a local store, and I'm going to try to get 4 or 5 people playing. And basically, I'm just running the environment, and they're, the ones trying to fight through it and get to the end. It's completely narrative. So hopefully I can get enough interest from somebody that they almost always play tournaments there and stuff, and I just don't like the tournament scene. I want to play something like this. It's different, it's fun. Everybody can participate. I'll bring armies if somebody wants to play and doesn't have one. I'll bring my salamanders, and they can pick some units from that and take them into the fray. So I wanted it to be adaptable so that it could deal with if there were a lot of attackers or if there weren't very many. So that's why there's not a lot of stuff on the board to begin with, and it kind of reacts to what's happening. So if they just come in with 500 points, I'm not going to throw a one eye and 2 carnifexes at them or something like that. You're going to have an appropriate response to the threat that's being presented to them.
Good.
And then
that
I came
sounds
up
awesome.
with rules for movement and how weapons would be affected in the environment and stuff like that. It should be pretty fun. I'm hoping. Even if they don't like it, I know when my nephews and my brother come to play, I'll get to use it on them too. So I'll get 2 uses out of it at least.
Perfect. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm
Before you run, Diana wants us to know that people should like the stream if they like the content, subscribe, comment, and do all the affiliate stuff.
Thank you, Diana. I just updated the description of this very video to include the link to the alien terrain that I sculpted. That's available at Ramshackle Games if you're interested in that. There are other ways to support there. Unfortunately, I just found out that Fenris Workshop used to ship some stuff to the United States, but apparently now they don't ship anything because the tariff situation is just out of control. So if anyone knows of like a responsible, respectful miniature retailer in the United States that I could approach about affiliate links, you let me know. Send me a personal message on Discord or on Instagram, because I'm not really sure who to approach for that kind of stuff, because I realize that Fenris is great for people in Canada, but not really useful for people in the world. And ditto for like a responsible retailer in the UK. I've heard things about Element Games. I don't know if Element is amazing. Let me know how you feel. But thank you all so much for joining. Will, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, as usual.
Kajan, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Great. And I hope you feel better. I hope you're no longer sick.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Hope you get over your migraine soon.
Oh God, I need to go to bed. I need to be up like early tomorrow to go and photograph an event. So I really need to not be yeah, but thank you, Sherman, and thank you, Sherman, for coming on and presenting to us about your ideas. And this was really interesting to talk about. I hope it was helpful for you.
Definitely, definitely. It's always nice to talk to people about stuff.
Well,
Run it through. You see if your thinking is nobody said anything that anybody thought was a bad idea or anything. So that's always good, right?
yeah. Well, I also feel like it was very hive-mindy of us to solve the problem this way. How very appropriate. Yeah, so yeah, let us know. We look forward to your update on how this all goes during November.
Hey, where should I post that on the when I get my pictures of the gameplay and synopsis of what happens? Is there a particular thread over here that I should put it in on the Discord?
We don't do a lot
I
of
mean, you have general
playing.
hobby. You have general hobby.
Yeah,
I mean, it could fit in there.
I can probably create something. Like I might.
Narrative gaming is what I would, something like that, because
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
it is. It's not any type of competitive or even supposed to be balanced. It's just
Yes, and if I were to do a type of,
story driven.
I don't game very much, but if I were to game, I would be doing narrative gaming. So that's right up my alley. Okay, I really got to go. I'm dying. Thank you guys so much. Have a good evening. And did I just close YouTube? Is it still running?
Maybe.
Oh shit.
No, it's still right. Well, I mean, it says live still.
Well, I pressed a button on my
we're
mouse that
still
I
on.
didn't know closed a window. That's weird. Hold on a sec. Let's see if I can get back to it. I have just killed it.
No, we're still online.
Oh, I guess I'm still okay. Cool. That's cool. All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna run. Thank you all so much. Thank you to everyone in the chat who helped out with this discussion and joined us. You can look forward to our next stream, which will probably be on Halloween, Friday, October 31st, which is gonna be Creature Conference, and we're gonna get started on November stuff. So look forward to talking to you all then. And thank you,
Take care, man.
Diana. I saw your message.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.